The idea was that universities' knowledge shouldn't exist just at the university. It should exist in the community as well. And that's why we have a partnership with the county government.
From the appointment,
I'm the brownfield redevelopment, here to demystify the operations and functions of the Transit Authority, materials management, veteran services, CNH, buy your grandma some AirPods, break it down into more layman's terms. We're just here to have a little bit of fun.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ottawa Out Loud, the official podcast of Ottawa County. We have a really awesome episode planned for you today that I'm particularly jazzed about. It's a 3-part episode featuring 3 staff members from our MSU Extension office. This is a really cool partnership that often goes under the radar. They offer a lot of different programs that could really benefit a lot of Ottawa County residents, business owners, families, especially for folks that are active or interested in the agricultural industry, but a lot of other fields as well. All right, we're going to get started with some announcements here today. I only have a couple. The first one, I know I joke around about a lot of things on this podcast, but every now and then we come up on something that's really serious, and I want to talk a little bit about food pantries. Hopefully it's not news to you that there is uncertainty right now in a lot of federal funding for programs like SNAP and the Community Services Block Grant. As of today, the federal government is still shut down. We're recording this about a week before the podcast actually launches. Food pantries are going to be an increasingly important resource for a lot of families across our community. And I would encourage you, if you are concerned right now about you or your family's ability to have food in your home, please utilize these food pantries. I have a few links below with some resources that you can use to find something close to you. And if you are able right now, if you are doing well, if you are fortunate or blessed in that way right now, this is the time that your donations are going to make the biggest difference, and now would be the time to consider making a donation to a food pantry or a similar charitable organization. And I would recommend, based on some things that I've read recently, as kind-hearted as it is for you to go buy a bunch of groceries and drop them off at a food pantry, it is actually better and more effective for you just to donate monetarily, and that's for a few reasons. The first one is that food pantries do often get a discount at grocery stores and whatnot and food suppliers, and they're able to take that dollar and make it stretch a little further and get a little bit more food, and that can make a big difference. And the other is that food pantries have a much better idea of what it is they need, what they have, and can make purchases a little bit more wisely based on what they're seeing families come in for, whether that's food items, diapers, etc. Thank you. That's not really a county-specific thing. It really has nothing to do with county government, but it has to do with the real impacts of things that are going on in our greater society that are important to people in your community. So thanks. I genuinely appreciate y'all listening to that spiel and hopefully taking action based on it. Next up, linked below in the description, we have a really great very quick set of safety tips from our emergency management office here in the county. Fall is a gorgeous time of year. The leaves are changing. They're starting to fall. That's why they call it fall, believe it or not. It brings along a host of potential risks for your home. The little guide here talks about fire safety because maybe your furnace is starting to kick on for the first time this year. Carbon monoxide is also a implication of that. Driving in fall conditions, yard safety. So there's a link to that little guide there below, along with some more resources that you can use to make sure that you and your family are safe in your homes. So that's it for announcements. We'll keep it pretty brief today, and I also don't have an episode of meeting minutes to show you because we are sort of in between meetings at the moment, but if you're interested in seeing anything from the Tuesday, October 28th meeting, you can check out our YouTube channel. I will actually I'll go ahead and link that below if you want to see what happened in the last board meeting. We do have a set of standing committee meetings coming up on Tuesday, November 11th at 9 a.m. here at the Fillmore Administration Building in West Olive. That's the Planning and Policy Committee and the Finance and Administration Committee. Both Very important, equally as important as Board of Commissioners meetings. This is where a lot of these issues are talked about in greater detail than what you may see in a full board meeting. So check those out. Thank you. We are going to get right to our main segment here with the fine folks from the MSU Extension Office. All right, and we are here with our main segment for today. I have Kendra from our Michigan State University Extension Office. Hi, Kendra. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
As some of you know, Ottawa County has a Michigan State Extension Office. A lot of counties do. Would you say all counties?
All counties do.
All counties do. We are one of many. And it's something that I really wanted to highlight because I don't think it's something that a lot of people talk about, and I think it's something people should talk about, especially a county like Ottawa, for reasons that you will find out in mere moments. Kendra, do you want to tell us a little bit about MSU Extension, what y'all do, the goals, and the impact that you have here in the county?
Sure. So MSU Extension was actually the first land-grant university in the country. We fight with Penn State, but we are determined that we were first.
Yeah.
So it dates back to 1855. Wow. The university was founded, and we had the Morrill Act signed by President Lincoln.
Wow.
So that created this whole land-grant system.
Yeah. He's pretty famous.
He is pretty famous.
Yeah.
And the idea was that universities' knowledge shouldn't exist just at the university. It should exist in the community as well. And that's why we have a partnership with the county governments. All of our people are embedded in the county. We're the bridge to the university. The resources from the university come through extension.
That's super cool.
And that's where the word extension, kind of extending the university.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if I remember correctly, there's still quite a big focus on agriculture at MSU, but it was originally an agricultural school, right?
It was. Michigan Agricultural College, MAC, was the first name of the university, which you can kind of see that sometimes our basketball jerseys still say MAC.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can kind of find little tidbits of history around campus. But yeah, we do have a lot. We're embedded within the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources as an extension department. So a lot of our programs do involve agriculture and natural resources.
Very cool. Well, and that kind of goes back to what I alluded to a few moments ago, where you fit right in Ottawa County because we have those agricultural roots and we're such a big ag county. I can imagine there are a lot of ways for MSU Extension to help out. So you want to go into maybe a few of the different programs and like impacts here?
Sure. So we have so many staff. We have about 15 staff people in the building. We have a dairy educator. We have a blueberry small fruit specialist. He really specializes in blueberries.
Nice.
We have an organic agriculture specialist, a beginning farmer specialist, a Christmas tree specialist.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And we also have horticulture person, and I work with small food businesses, people that want to do value-added products. Such diversity. We also have a sea grant, fisheries.
Yeah, I heard a lot about that when I was working on the documentary about Ottawa Sands.
Oh, yes.
There was a lot going on with that, so I heard that mentioned a few times.
Yeah, Dr. Dan O'Keefe is our sea grant specialist, and I think he was really key in that project.
Yeah, I heard he went diving a few times.
I think he goes diving regularly there.
Very cool. Well, that is really awesome. It sounds like MSU Extension is a really great resource for farmers, right?
We are. We're also a really great resource for just the average gardener. We do soil testing. That's very popular in the growing season. We have knowledge about growing vegetables, growing horticultural products in your backyard, coming to us about preserving fruits and vegetables this time of year. People are getting everything out of their garden. They want to freeze it. They want to can it. So our website is just a plethora of information that just average people can utilize.
Very cool. Do you want to talk a little bit more about what you do at MSU Extension?
Yeah, so I'm what we call an innovation counselor with the Michigan State University Product Center, and we started in 2003. And we started because we saw entrepreneurs wanted to start their own small food businesses. They had a home recipe, perhaps a sauce. We are very popular with sauces and condiments. that they had been passing down from generation to generation. They thought, hey, people love this. I want to start selling this.
Yeah, very cool.
So we partnered up with our food science department. We have a professor that helps people with their commercialization of their sauce recipe. We're connecting entrepreneurs with food kitchens, commercial kitchens that they can get licensed in. And we're working with them on a business plan through the licensing steps, pricing their product, coming up with a marketing plan, just all the kind of steps to get a product from your home kitchen onto the shelves of a store or in a farmer's market.
Well, that's huge because I think, I've personally not started a business like that, but I can imagine that's one of the biggest barriers. Like, hey, I make the sauce, or I have the recipe, I have the vision, but I don't have all of this knowledge of, I'm not a packaging engineer. I don't have data on the market. I don't have connections with vendors and stuff like that and suppliers. And I can imagine it's really overwhelming. So having that service available, it's got to be really helpful.
Yeah, you can't just Google an answer. Even AI can only do so much. You really kind of need some hand-holding through the process, especially if you're working with something that's in a sealed container at room temperature. It does need, we're worried about botulism.
Yep. My friends at the health department would agree.
Yes, they would. We work closely with the health department. A lot of people come through the health department, so they're trying to get a license and they don't know. So the health department and Department of Agriculture sends us a lot of referrals for
say,
people.
Hey, help these folks out.
Help them out. Yeah, we offer free webinars. That's how people sign up for the Product Center. Anybody can come to the Product Center. We have a free webinar to explain how we work, what we do. It happens every month, so people can go to our website and sign up and learn more about it and really decide if this is something they want to do for a business.
Yeah. Now, I heard of in the news relatively recently, I think a product that started in the Product Center, the protein pints.
You got it.
Yeah.
They're
that's
one
really
of
cool.
our big award winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a great story of childhood friends, loved ice cream. I think they grew up in Hudsonville.
Yep. Ice cream capital of West Michigan at least, if not further.
Yeah. So they had this idea. They also loved to work out and exercise, and they wanted something healthier and protein forward. So they partnered up with a business in Grand Rapids. They invented a formula, and now they're nationwide. I think they're over 1,000, well over 1,000 stores.
They picked the perfect time to get in on putting protein in commonplace things. 'Cause I feel like I heard about that, and then I started looking around, and I'm like, protein cereal, protein, like, baking soda. They're putting protein in everything now. Like, there's protein in my rug at this point. They've got it in everything. But they picked a perfect time to jump in on that trend because it was really at the forefront.
It's really true. Protein has taken off leaps and bounds, hasn't it?
But they wouldn't be able to do a lot of this. I can imagine it would have been a lot harder, at least, without help from the Product Center.
They are really inspiring people. So they have a lot of motivation themselves. And that's what it takes to be a good entrepreneur.
Probably would have succeeded on their own anyway.
They probably would have anyway. But we did help them. And they co-packed at our dairy plant.
Oh, very cool.
At Michigan State. One of the protein pint owners happened to be a Michigan State student.
Hey, there we go.
So yeah, they learned dairy science in our production facility on campus and were able to scale up, and now they're at a big national level.
Yeah.
They've outgrown our dairy facility on
Wow.
campus. They've grown beyond that.
That's super cool. What else do you do at the Product Center?
Yeah, so we are trying to connect entrepreneurs with kitchens, and so I wanted to let you know about a cool new survey that we have coming out. So we're trying to gauge from Ottawa County entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs how many people are looking for shared kitchens. We think there's a lot of kitchens out there, but we're not sure how to connect entrepreneurs with these kitchens. So our first start is let's do a survey.
Yeah, collect some data.
Yeah, let's just get a sense of how many people in the public want to connect with a commercial kitchen in Ottawa County. We have a free survey. It can be anonymous. You can put your name in there if you want follow-up from us about if we move forward with a network of shared kitchens. That's kind of what they do in Detroit. They have this really cool network of, nonprofit kitchens and church kitchens that are underutilized, and then they're connecting those kitchens with entrepreneurs that want to start businesses.
Yeah, because capital to purchase your own building with a kitchen has got to be difficult when you're first starting out, and a shared kitchen sounds like the perfect, blend. And you talk about like church kitchens and stuff. A lot of times they're not being used 5 or 6 days out of the week, so something like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially for entrepreneurs starting out. That's exactly it. It's just a little incubation space to prove your concept, and then if you grow out, then you can move on. This is not a permanent solution.
Right.
It's just a startup solution just to kind of get going, because you're right. Taking a leap, getting a loan, building your own kitchen before you've even proven that you have a good product or refine your recipe.
Cheap.
No. And the equipment isn't cheap either.
Geez,
just a hood can be $50,000 to install. So taking advantage of any kitchens that may be available. We do have another survey going out there to kitchens that will be released as well to see if we have resources, organizations willing to lend their kitchens to entrepreneurs.
Very cool.
And then maybe make this cool matchmaking process happen. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to link to that survey in the description below. So if you fall under the category of entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs looking, click on the link below. Sweet. Kendra, is there anything else that you want to talk about your experience at MSU Extension?
Well, I just want to really remind people that MSU Extension is a great resource. If you have questions about Michigan State University or don't know where to go, what to do, you can contact us. We're here to help you, connect you with the right resources. If you're really interested in starting a food business or a beverage business, I also work with beverages. I'm the person to do that, but we're here to help you no matter what. So, if you're looking for information about sending your child to Michigan State University, we can be a local contact for that. We'll be able to put you on the right path. We're the open door to the university to help you find the right resources.
Wow, that's super cool, and that's super unique. And I think what you may lack in football at the moment, you make up
basketball season is coming.
Fair enough.
Just watch
fair
it.
enough. You make up for in community outreach and all these really cool programs, which we're going to talk about a few more here with a couple other guests. So thanks, Kendra.
Thanks so much.
Okay, as promised, we are here with another staff member from our MSU Extension office here in Ottawa County. I am here with Bill. He's a Christmas tree educator. My first question is, what makes Christmas trees such great students?
Great students?
Yeah.
Not sure I know that one.
Oh, you're not educating the trees.
No, I'm not educating the trees. Sorry. Educating the farmers.
About the trees.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Okay, I have this. Cut. No. I'm messing with you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, what the goals are, what the impact is?
Yeah, so Michigan is actually the number 3 state in Christmas tree production in the whole country.
Wow.
So we have 27,000 acres of Christmas trees in the state. About 2 million trees are harvested every year.
Wow.
We have about 500 farms across the state that grow Christmas trees. So it's a pretty big industry.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of people work in this field. So
for sure.
So my role as a MSU Christmas tree educator is to help all those farms out. So we put on educational programming, in-person events, field day events, winter webinar series. So we're getting a lot of great information out there for Christmas tree farmers.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, when you plant a tree in the ground, it takes like 8 to 10 years before you have a tree to harvest and sell as a Christmas tree. So it's a long-term investment. And a lot of things to kind of learn and get right as they grow.
Yeah, well, 'tis the season to start talking about this from a consumer standpoint. But it sounds like it's a year-round conversation that you're having.
It's
with
an
farmers,
absolutely
right?
year-round job for Christmas tree farmers. Yep, a lot of things for them to work on.
Yeah.
So.
What resources? You mentioned a few of them, but for Christmas tree farmers, what resources do you offer?
Yeah, so I mentioned we do in-person events, we do field days, we do virtual events. I do on-farm visits. So if a grower's having a problem, with some issue on the farm, I can go out and stop and look over with them. We have a whole set of specialists on campus, at MSU that also specialize in, say, entomology or irrigation management or nutrition. So we have this whole slew of people that can help us out for any
cool.
problem. So yeah.
Yeah. So turning a little bit more to the consumer side of it, a lot of folks are looking at, right around this time of year, they're getting started thinking about it. We have some early adopters who maybe have their tree up November 1st right away. What should people be thinking about when they are thinking about their Christmas tree?
Yeah, so for real Christmas trees, we usually would say kind of Black Friday time period is when we're going to start getting our Christmas trees in. That's when most of the Christmas tree farms here in Michigan will open up.
Sure.
But yeah, so things you'll want to know, or things you'll want to do to be happy with your Christmas tree. Kind of three main things we talk about: getting a fresh tree. So making sure if you're getting it from a store, you can kind of rub your fingers through the needles. If you have a lot of needles falling off, you probably don't want to get that one.
Sure.
But otherwise, if you're going to a choose and cut farm, harvest one right there, you have a fresh tree. So fresh tree, fresh cut. So when you take it to your house, cut off the bottom just inch or two. It'll kind of refreshen the base. So when you put it in your tree stand and have fresh water, it'll go up into the tree. So that's what you want to keep that tree nice and fresh. So fresh tree, fresh cut, and fresh water. That's your last one. So just keep an eye on that water stand. Make sure you keep replenishing it with water. Depending on how big the tree is and how much your water stand can hold, but just kind of checking every day or so. They take up quite a bit of water. So yeah.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. What's your favorite species of Christmas tree?
Yeah, Fraser fir is my favorite
Okay.
Christmas tree. It's the most popular in Michigan right now. But in Michigan, we're actually unique. We grow a lot of different species. So Fraser, concolor, canane fir. We also do spruces. So Colorado blue spruce is a very nice blue tree as well.
Love a blue spruce.
Yeah.
I always have and always will.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about, so you mentioned a little bit about getting the tree set up and ready to go. What about like care throughout and then disposal after the Christmas season is over?
Yeah, so care throughout is really just focusing on the water. So we get a lot of questions about people, hey, should I add this supplement or add something else to the water to make it
Protein
better?
maybe?
Yeah, protein shakes to it. We really don't need to worry about that. Just fresh tap water. It doesn't have to be hot or cold. It's just regular water. It's all we really need. We've had studies that kind of looked at that and needle retention. So that's the main thing, keeping your tree fresh, keeping it healthy over the time you're going to have it in the house. So when you're done with your tree at the end of the year or end of the season, what you want to do is check with your local municipality. Many of them have tree recycle programs where they'll take it and shred it and put it into bark, and that can be used for gardeners the next spring.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want to put it in landfill, which then leads to some methane production in landfills. So look at ways to recycle that tree.
Cool. Absolutely. Is there anything else that you think?
So I could talk a little bit.
About?
So people get real Christmas trees because they bring joy to everyone who sees and smells them. So it's a great holiday tradition to start. Brings happiness into the home, and that's not my opinion. We've done surveys of consumers, and 88% say that bringing that tree into the house brings joy to them. When they see that. So a real Christmas tree brings joy to everyone who sees it. And it's a great thing to bring families together over the holidays.
My heart just grew 3 sizes
There you
just
go.
hearing you talk about that. Man, I am so excited. I'm a big fan. We're recording this just before Halloween. I love Halloween. I am so excited.
Yeah.
Get the Christmas tree up, get some decorations. Man, that's awesome.
And then, if you're interested in getting a real tree, check out, you can check your local farms if you know of them in the area. There's a lot of Facebook groups and websites out there.
Yeah.
Also, Michigan Christmas Tree Association, mcta.org, has a Christmas tree finder, if you will. So a map that you can put in your address, and I'll show you where you can get a real tree.
Cool. And any questions that you have about Christmas trees, sounds like the MSU Extension Office is exactly where you'd want to go for that.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on, Bill.
Awesome.
All right, and we are back with one more staff member from our MSU Extension office. I have Morgan from the 4-H program.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes,
Welcome.
thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do, what the 4-H program is. I'm really interested to hear about it.
Yeah, so 4-H is a youth programming organization. It starts at the national level, so it's supported by the USDA NIFA, so the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. And then from there, it goes to every state at a land-grant university level, like what Kendra talked about. And then from there, we are in pretty much every county. I'm the county representative for Ottawa County. And then from there, my main job is to ensure everything runs smoothly with our clubs and our members and our volunteers, and also to plan some events for the community and also for our 4-H members specifically.
Awesome. Who does the 4-H program serve typically?
Yeah, so we are primarily a youth organization. So kids from age 5 all the way up to age 19 can participate in 4-H. Our 5 to 7 age group is a little different. They can still participate, but we don't place them in competitions.
Sure.
Just because they're a little too young.
They can't handle
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
Losing is, I mean, some
tough.
adults can't handle it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But then we have 8 through 19 as our normal programming. We operate through a bunch of different avenues. We have our traditional clubs. We have after-school programming, in-school programming, and then just one-off activities if you want to just see what we're all about.
Sure.
We have 25 clubs in Ottawa County, and last year we had close to 550 youth enrolled.
Wow.
So we're pretty active.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is it called 4-H? Are there...
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have 4 H's that represent the organization. So it's Head, Heart, Hands, and Health.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so
Big fan of that.
we have a little pledge that's with the 4 H's, Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. So we pledge our head to clearer thinking, our heart to greater loyalty, our hands to better service, and our health to better living for our clubs, our community, our country, and our world.
Wow.
Yeah, so we kind of try to make all of our programs embody at least one of the 4 H's.
Yeah. Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I was just telling Bill that my heart grew 3 sizes. I think it just grew 3 more. This is becoming a big health hazard.
Yeah, you could say even 4 times.
Yeah,
4-H
geez.
times.
That is awesome. What kind of, I mean, it sounds like a pretty big program here in Ottawa County, which is fantastic. What kind of impact are you seeing from that?
Yeah, so one of the biggest impacts that I think I see is just in our kids. They are very confident people, and they learn from a really young age, sometimes 5 years old, that they get involved in these clubs, and they are able to learn about career exploration. They learn how to lead in their clubs. The clubs are usually led by a committee of kids, and they kind of lead the whole club meeting.
That's super cool.
So it's really exciting for them to be able to step into that leadership role and kind of cultivate that at an early age.
Wow, that is so cool because I was a teacher for a long time. My wife is a teacher. Teachers and school staff do so much to try to help kids with these things like learning about leadership and everything, but there's only so much you can do during a school day. So especially if you're a parent and you just maybe don't love your kids sitting around playing video games all day after they get home from school, or just hanging out with their friends and not actually doing anything. I feel like a club like 4-H is like the perfect thing to get your kids into.
Right, and we really like to have our kids learn by doing.
Yeah.
So the example
Hands-on.
of having the committee with kids, it's led by them with the support of the adults around them if they need it. And they can get involved in any number of areas that they're interested in. Traditionally, it's agriculture in our county, livestock, animals, horses, but we also have programs like dogs, cats,
Big fan of those for
sewing,
sure.
baking, anything you could think of,
Wow.
we have a spot for you. And then with the example of the livestock animals, they purchase the animals, raise them throughout the year. They go to clubs just to learn more about what it takes to raise those animals, and then they show them at the Ottawa County Fair at the end of the year. So that's kind of the culmination of all their hard work during the year.
And then those animals go on to live really long, happy lives.
Yes.
Yep. For eternity, actually.
Yeah, a really long
they
time.
live forever. Well, that is super cool. And this is something that I've been thinking a lot about lately as I navigate like my addiction to my phone and like focus on like what's going on the internet. Get curious about things that are happening in the real world. And that starts at such a young age. If you can cultivate that curiosity for kids and learning about something that's going to either just be, at the very least a passion, something that they're interested in, or maybe a career. I mean, you talk about the, certain programs agriculturally, the livestock and everything like that, but also leadership. Like these are all things that are incredibly important as someone goes through a career. And if they have that stuff like foundationally, I can imagine That makes a huge impact when they're adults, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have 4-H is such a broad program too. We
Right.
have statewide events that they can go to. We have an event called 4-H Day at the Capitol where they go to the Capitol in Lansing and they get to walk around the building and then talk about, the problems that are affecting our state.
Yeah.
And they get to really dive into those topics, which is a really cool thing.
That is
and
really
so
cool.
we see programs like that at our state and our national level too.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing, and if you join 4-H, we have opportunities to, sponsor you to go to those trips too and help support people.
What else should people know? Is there anything else that you wanna tell people?
I think one thing is that we are a youth organization, but we also depend really heavily on the volunteers that work with us.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm one person. I can't handle 550
No?
kids.
Come on.
Pretty hard job. So I really depend on our volunteers in our county.
Yeah.
So we have about 120 volunteers that work directly with our kids. And so those are really the people that we cherish because they spend so much of their time volunteering
Yeah, absolutely.
and making sure these kids have the right mentorship that they need.
Yeah.
And so if you're an adult listening and you want to help out or that sounds like something interesting to you, we're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to, give back to the community and give back to the youth.
Most of our viewership is actually kids under the age of 5.
Right.
So I don't know if that's quite the target audience. But if you happen to be one of our few adult listeners, that would be a fantastic opportunity for you to make a difference in our community, for sure.
And if you're 5, you're right at the age to join 4-H.
Hey, talk to your
Yep.
parent or legal guardian today.
Today.
Awesome. Well, Morgan, thank you so much for coming on to talk about this. I learned a lot, and I hope that our viewers did as well. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed that segment that I had, that conversation with those 3 wonderful staff members, Kendra, Bill, and Morgan. Thank you to all 3 of you for appearing on the podcast to talk about your programs. I look forward to more episodes with MSU Extension in the future. I hope you learned something. I sure did. And I hope that maybe you saw something that could interest you, whether it's the Product Center, whether it's Christmas Tree Education, or the 4-H program that you could look into and maybe enrich your life in some way, because I'm enriched with knowledge. That's for sure. Yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching. This has been fantastic. I'm really excited for our next couple episodes. I think you're going to have a great time. So make sure you are subscribed, whether you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. There's a lot of stuff we put out pretty frequently on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and your other audio platforms as well. Make sure you're following. That makes sure that every episode that we put out gets delivered straight to you. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and don't y'all forget, knowledge is power, and local government works best when you're a part of it. We'll see you next time.